Their year might end right here. Will they be unmasked? Or will they prevail to force a game number 4 Ultra Ego? Everything on the line.
Wow. Man, we were assuming a lot of picks would be coming through there. The Atlas, good mention over. I thought for sure, after seeing the Clint, they baited Heiss into picking someone that can't go for the Purify. We were all screaming, Atlas, Atlas, Atlas! No, we won't get the Atlas. Keep on the horse. Something we are actually not used to seeing in the regular season.
Yeah, interesting picks as well. Nino with the signature, Benedetta. But this time around, the build, I think, will be much more defensive like we saw from MPLSG in the hands of Diablo. Not the emblems though, Arashi. What do you think about this?
Master Assassin for both gold laners. They definitely want to go toe-to-toe there. And on the side of the junglers, it's going to be the Season Hunter. It's going to be Impure Rage for the Alpha as well. Extra bit of damage, good mana in the jungle, because you want to spam all those spells. And look at the tenacities from the side of Ultra Ego, man. Especially having the Sushin in the mid lane. They want to make sure that they have tankiness, but look at that reaction!
The flicker reaction time, more of a prediction actually, you know?
Yeah.
And so for the Edith. Nile though, getting a lot of prio, everybody rotating mid.
Yeah, mid is the main focal point, the epicentrum of everything. Both these teams in the first few minutes of the game. And now, Beatrix against Clint. What do you think about this lane?
Beatrix against Clint?
Yeah.
Clint definitely has a more trade advantage, but Beatrix has a lot more ways to kind of change the lane dynamic. Switch up your weapons, go for poke, go for a quick wave clear. And when it comes down to it, there's still an option for Bigetron to just allow that lane to just get cleared again and again. And that way the Clint can't really abuse that strong early game to try and shut down Eman. The mid lane though is where you have to keep your eyes on, because this is the Chushin that's been so oppressive, especially after the changes, right? No mana cost on that Lantern Flare, and using that, Ultra Ego definitely having a bit more prio here.
Way more prio. Key with the sake of the damage, pops in Revitalize, Spear of Alpha, they're all the combo down. Key taken down, first blood over to Nino. Super Luke looking for a play. I'm offended. Whoa! Weird interaction with the I'm offended dash.
Yeah.
But Super Ken is staying busy. We'll use a Retribution to go for the steal on the purple buff. And you will get it. Owen, looking for the chase, just gets poked by Heiss.
Yeah, Super Ken counter jungles, gets something out of nothing, thankfully though. But for Ultra Ego, they have the advantages on both sides, the kills and the total as well. Bigetron Alpha, they are on the pounce though. They're not looking to stop down the aggression.
It's kind of played slow here. As long as Bigetron don't commit and go into the range of the Tsushin, they can keep just poking and harassing, right? That's the advantage they have right here with all the slows, especially the combo coming in with the Glover's Pathway and the slows from the Void Crystals of the Eve. Man, that is a slow field of area that all Trigger have to try and walk through, right? But look at the Super Luke.
Flickers out of the Lantern Flare. Super Ken with the Retry.
Interesting. The blown away spell by Super Luke, that might be much crucial in the coming minutes, because they will kind of collapse onto the players of Bigetron Alpha, Ultra Ego, though they're taking their time, like how Arashi mentioned. They really, really want to be able to scale slowly into the game.
Got a gang on the way bot side though. Super Luke.
No flicker for Luke. And Nile might go for the Spear of Alpha. Actually does get it. Super Luke in the midst of it all. Caught Nile. Picks up the kill. A good gank over from Ultra Ego.
Way too much damage coming through. The early and true damage coming in from the Alpha, man. Even when the Sushin, in theory, is just all utility based, not too much damage, having an Alpha allows you to output all that damage. But you have to be careful, man. Super Ken is keeping up on curve, actually having an EXP advantage against Nile on the Alpha. So the backliners need to be very careful. Rondo is on a safe kind of... Oh, hang on a minute.
Nino opens it up. Might be forced to use Revitalize here.
Okay.
Use the final blow. That's already a big resource. No final blow. Team fight, Bigetron Alpha looking strong in the turtle. Super Luke rotating already. Has that offend. Owen! Or Shadow Flicker now finding the onward as well. Now it's going to be full collapse. Moreno will be reflected. Nile caught again, and Super Ken claims the double. And no turtle. It's just a double. Sheriff Heiss is on the case.
It's high noon, but for everybody it is going to be a slaughter. Nino looking for the 1v1 towards Super Luke, but he won't be able to get anything because Super Luke is just way too sustainable in that mid lane.
A lot of damage coming from Heiss still, but there's going to be all the covered gold taken by Bigetron. Unfortunately for Bigetron, they're unable to get anything in the middle of the map because of the wave clear coming in from the Benedetta. This tank build, a Revitalized Benedetta, is definitely a nice pick. You know, it's quite flexible, but Super Ken?
They might be too early. Nope. Oh! Beacon, Super Ken taken out. Roundel with the Crimson Beacon, able to just go in there and get him.
A lot of good chase for Ultra Ego, man. This is the problem. Bigetron Alpha now against spammable, overwhelming crowd control. They kind of have to play it a bit safer here, especially with Moreno being on a Yve as well. He's not the same mobile, dangerous kind of mid laner that he was like on the Valentina. Now it's Nino that's being flashy, being in and out. So with Nile being on the Alpha, can Nino pick up the slack and use all that mobility and flashiness to try and get something? Looking at the items, have to see he's completed 4 highs, so definitely a lot of burst damage potential. But with the BOD completed, Eman will be doing a lot of burst damage. And if Altrigo don't space out properly in the fights, a big Bandit's Rage or Nibiru's Passion is gonna shred through the whole roster.
Yeah, thankfully enough for... Oh, Owen is able to just pop in and go his pathway.
Yeah, Owen locked down. Super Lou with I'm offended as well. Owen cutting caught by the fractured key. Loses life too. It's a 1-for-1. Both roamers falling down.
This is the main premise of picking up the Clint is just to cut through the front lines, to cut through the tankiness of Bigetron Alpha. And it will scale pretty scarily come to the late game, don't you think?
I mean, scaling is definitely there for the side of both teams technically. But ooh, look at the mid lane, man. The control for full pressure.
Oh,
Roundel!
Lethal Ignition tick. Roundel able to regen in time. Super kind of level lead over Nile. And without the mid laner, Bigetron might just take the skirmish. Nile actually reset the turtle. Will give Bigetron a bit more control. Owen has the flicker. Can go for the Earth Shadow flicker combo. Iman rotating already towards the turtle.
You want to buy time here and allow Moreno to poke everyone down. That could be a valid option for Bigetron. You don't really have to rush this. Now that Rondo is back though, definitely a different dynamic here. And look at Nino already setting up.
I'm offended. Bandit's Rage. Owen deleted before he could do anything. Nino in the back line. Spirit of Alpha connecting. Super Ken running away now. That's the eye for a Nile over to Super Ken, who's able to dodge away. That's a free turtle over to Nile. Rondo pushing some damage. Super Luke. Lantern Flare barely on and picks him up to throw him to the guns of Sheriff Highs.
Alter Ego will not go down without a fight. Perfect execution. Nino in the backline being the executioner, just zoning out Super Ken. And this Benedetta might be the key to really stopping that pressure from Bigetron Alpha. But Alter Ego, all in all, solid lineup.
They're doing great at a 1.5k gold lead, but they have to try and set their targets on the structures right here. Take out a lot of it as early as possible, because Bigetron, that late game high ground damage is absolutely there, and they have a strong front line that can't really be ignored, that can't really be skipped over, right? Nino can maybe dash towards the back line, but that's about it. So they have to try and use all of this advantage to leverage all that to try and go into the jungle, to try and take down these turrets early on here before Bigetron gets some more items that can allow them to wave clear a lot more efficiently.
And the question is, what do you think about the siege coming in from Alter Ego, Arashi? Do you think it'll be effective coming into the base later on?
It really isn't that good, honestly. The Sushin doesn't really do a lot of, doesn't have a lot of range, doesn't have a lot of damage as well, right? With the Lantern Flare just ticking down slowly but surely. The Clint is the only thing that they have at their disposal to help with the poke, to help with taking down the turrets. But look at this trade coming from Bigetron. The Beatrix damage.
Power of the Bennett.
Yeah, Nino will just be there to catch the wave, and Super Luke and Iman will just force their way back. And Alter Ego, they might be able to just open up their eyes and look for cross-map plays maybe, because their bottom side turret all going to be broken down. The top wave is pushing though, and Super Ken will be there to get it.
Let's remember that now the max HP for Key actually scales better in the late game, technically compared to the early game. So he has kind of leveraged this situation as well, right? Find ways to kind of use more of the utility as of for now, in order to like not be the main front line that can just tank everything. Because Roundel now picks up that Sky Piercer, and that's a lot of ways for him to proc that Sky Piercer due to the spammable nature of the Tushin.
The Lord setting their sights on this. Alter Ego might be playing a dangerous game. Bigetron Alpha also eyeing for this Lord, and Nino in the backline just will be a blanker.
Owen getting the onward down. Nile wins it out. Super Ken running away. Owen going to be gunned down by the Demeter's Passion, but the real world manipulation catches them in the back. Highs was caught, soloed, isolated from the rest of the team. And it's a 3-for-0. A 3-for-1 snipe over. Iman not finding it.
The Lord feels so bland for Alter Ego. They lost 3 members, 2 of them core members. And Bigetron Alpha, they fight back, they bite back. Nino looking for something.
Nino still able to escape. Super Ken gets the purple though, and this will be a free turret in the mid lane. This Lord advantage is for Bigetron Alpha.
It's only the first Lord as well, so Bigetron Alpha can easily clear out the waves, clear out this Lord as well. And they're actually gonna get a lot more value from this situation. But
Super Luke pushing it over to Roundel. Owen with the onward as well. This should be Super Luke dying. Roundel gets the Sky Piercer stack.
A bit too far out alone without the damage from his team to kind of help him out. And looking at the situation like right here, Bigetron Alpha, I think they're at that point where they can clear very, very easily, man. Especially with the Wishing Lantern completed for Moreno as well. Even the frontliners, all these fighters that are giving Alter Ego so much fighting power, staying power, gonna be a lot more vulnerable with that max HP damage. You see they're already taking from Moreno.
Yeah, and Zeusson will of course be the main zoning tool for Alter Ego to make their way. Oh, Heiss almost gets assassinated. And Owen will be there to peel for him, but look at Nino doing light work up top, looking to just chop down the turrets slowly but surely, but Super Luke will be there to respond, and now Alter Ego, at least they're able to tone down the pressure, and they have the tight lane pressure constantly on the hunt to just threaten Bigetron Alpha and their objectives.
Another big issue for Alter Ego is how do they deal with the burst damage coming in from Iman. Super Ken is just waiting around, finding an opportunity to jump onto Roundel or Highs. So for Alter Ego, if they jump on anyone except for anyone but Iman, then Iman can just stay in the back and just gun all of these fighters down in the front line. So they have to try to find a way to either send Nino to the back maybe to distract him and stop the channels of those ultimates, or, you know, just jump on him outright.
Eye for an eye from Nino. That's a turret tier 1 up top for BTR.
Yeah, almost close. Nino almost got himself killed, but he's all fine. It's Benedetta, after all, has that mobility to just rack up the damage and want the crowd control towards the backside. When the nature now for Heiss, is this protection enough for him from the burst?
It's going to help a lot against Super Ken in particular, and he is one of the only big burst damage sources. And technically, in the midst of a big fight, it can also help him survive against something like a Nibiru's Passion or Bennett's Rage. So it's a great pickup for the Clint, definitely. But again, Alter Ego's problems are still the same, right? They don't really have a crazy strong front line. They have the Edith, but the Edith is going to be transitioning to a bit more of a damage dealer, especially when he pops that Primal Wrath. So Bigetron have the more solid front-to-back composition, and they have more range to play around with right now with the Renner, as well as the poke coming in from Moreno. So you can see Owen is going to be struggling so much here. Alter Ego are going to be forced to make a move desperately.
Look at that, onward, coming down. Naya winning on the retry battle, but gets caught in the tough spot. Now Roundel about to be assassinated. He finding the pick off Nino in the midst of it all, finding the final blow to get key down. Moreno with a poke. Owen, can he survive? That's a lot of damage. Real world manipulation from Moreno. The snipe not connecting, but now high forward. Looking for the kills, but now with the nature, can he do it? Cutting him down slowly but surely. But Super Ken does too much. They overwhelm Alter Ego with damage. But remember, Niall got the Lord. Nino, look at the purple buff. It will be taken by Super Ken. No solo kill here.
Heiss is insanely aggressive. Flickers forward for the kill. But thankfully, Nino was there to sustain him a lot more longer with the Revitalize. But again, that is insane. 3 for 3.
But with 3 members down, Alter Ego, they already lose out in the high ground department. And now they don't really have ways to use this Lord either. Super Ken though, ooh, gets out with that movement there, but Nino is definitely on the hunt.
Roundel. Oh. Super Ken might go for a steal.
Fracture, lethal ignition ticking. No, he has the regen. He gets out, but he's very low.
Oh, that was so close. Super Ken looking to get the second bite of the cherry with that movement. But thankfully, Roundel is still able to survive. And now, it becomes very scary for Alter Ego. The Beatrix damage is just nasty. How do they deal with this?
Just trying to find a way to get onto him. Otherwise, there's no really way for them to really out-damage the Beatrix. Even when the Clint is at full items, he'll have a lot of bursts, but once the skills are down, once he can't really trigger the passive any longer, it's going to be a lot more difficult. Whereas Iman, if he's on the Nibiru, he's going to be just shooting away, gatling away, doing all sorts of damage to the backline. The saving grace for Alter Ego, though, is they have a EXP laner that's a lot tankier than you would expect, with a lot of mobility. So you can see that he's been very actively playing on the side lanes, trying to pull apart Bigetron from their so solid front-to-back composition. And if they're able to catch Bigetron mid-rotation, right, then it's gonna work out fine. But if they stretch out too far, that's where Super Ken has been able to punish them as well. So there's a fine balance here in the composition, in the positioning of both teams when they're moving around the map. And that is where the difference is gonna be made.
Yeah, Bigetron Alpha balances all things, and now Super Ken also has that Sea Halberd to deal with a few of the anti-heals and anti-regens towards Alter Ego. Roundel gets the winner crown righteously. He needs to be able to sustain the burst coming from Bigetron Alpha. So does Super Luke with the same build and same buy that he made. And now the question becomes, how long will Alter Ego survive? Because they need to look for a moment. They need to look for one big play that might change the course of the game. But for now, Bigetron Alpha is the one who's dictating the whole game.
They have more control because they do have the Hylas, right? The strong frontline difference. The fact that Alter Ego, if they really want to take out the Hylas, they definitely can. But with the Radiant Armor, Dominance Ice, with the Revitalize available as well, it's going to take a bit too much time. And that allows Bigetron, if they're in the right position, to capitalize. With a Demon Hunter Sword, though, Owen.
They go on to Super Luke now with what? Okay, with the winner crown as well. Moreno now with the real revelation. Niall is going to be caught in the viewer's passion. Nino as well. Great, I'm offended to get Roundel. Oh! Engaged there, and man with nature. Nino waiting in the bush. Very sabar. Very patiently. Ooh. But will not be able to utilize that patience. That was such a rush engage, I feel.
Yeah. It was so prompted. In a way that the follow-up was just so forced. And Alter Ego, no patience in their name. So ironic, but how patient that Nino wants to be.
Man, that was a split-second decision for sure for Owen, man. He saw a chance to jump on the back line, the exact solution we were talking about earlier, but the follow-up just wasn't on point, wasn't in the right position. And against Bigetron, you can't do that. Iman dealt 15,000 damage in that fight, dude. Again, if he is allowed to just fully channel all of the spells, all of the ultimate damage, that's crazy. And even the basic attacks with the Nibiru, you saw what happened, man. Even Nino was chunked down to almost half HP with a single basic attack. That's some serious damage coming in from Iman right here. And with the Lord at their backs, Bigetron have enough high ground pressure to look for an end angle.
Oh, this siege is going to be ridiculous from Bigetron Alpha. They have a Renner, they have a Bennett.
Oh, look at that, Roundel.
They have that poke. Roundel taking a half HP already, and still the Enhanced Lord is marching down in the bottom lane that they are going to try to get 2 waves on. Another wave in the mid lane, and now that's going to be the Enhanced Lord charging down. Niall, can he do it? Oh, going to be an initiation again with the Bennett's Rage, taking a lot of HP. Then got the Primal Rat, now Nino engaged upon. Used up the final blow. Fracture from Super Ken. Good maneuvers from inside of Alter Ego, but is it enough to keep the turret intact though? Oh. Renner, luckily Owen tanked that. Bigetron Alpha, 1 base turret is all they're gonna get with that first Enhanced Lord.
Just see what happened right there. The 3 members chunked down to half HP before the fight even broke out. That's the late game Yeve damage, man. Moreno is absolutely lethal right here. And Bigetron has one more chance to play on the top side.
Oh man, Renner, the Iman damage is ridiculous. Even to the turrets, he's just slowly but surely taking it down. Niall, or the Spear of Alpha, now real world manipulation!
Oh no.
With a crown of timing has to be perfect for Renner too, in case Moreno didn't time it to perfection. No Niall. And another wave forming. 40 seconds for the jungle of Alter Ego. Do or die. This is 2-0. It's match point for BTR.
Slowly crumbling pieces to pieces. Their mask slowly unseated. And now, for Bigetron Alpha, they're taking their sweet time.
20 seconds.
But this siege might be scary. Owen has to do the defense. And Key opens up the glorious pathway.
Owen, you're gonna have a
Roundel.
A massive engage. Roundel dies. Nino with a desperate final blow. He gets out with the eye for an eye, but now Owen will have to use a Primal Rat. That's a winner crown from Super Luke. Super Ken dealing with the pop right now. Is that Highs taking the kill over? Bigetron Alpha will Highs the flicker. Woo! Bigetron will stay disciplined. They're happy with this 3 base turrets. They got the dub.
Highs is trigger happy. He flickers forward. That could be the end of him. A double-edged sword, but thankfully he lives to see another day. Alter Ego, they defend their base.
A desperate defense from Alter Ego, and it has paid off. On the cost of Roundel, they're able to actually stave off the aggression, but their problems, it seems that they've only just begun. With no base towers available, with the Lord spawning in right here, Roundel will be on the map, but Bigetron Alpha just have an abundance of damage. Unless a big moment is found, Alter Ego can't do much.
Yep, they're bursting it. They're going to try to put all their bags into this. Do or die. Key jumped to half HP already. Jumped in again. Super Ken finds it. Niall falls under the real world manipulation. Moreno buys the winner crown. Nino going forward. Super Ken has the immortality. Now Nino with the revitalized. Gunned down by Iman. That's a winner crown from Moreno. Can he buy the immortality? No, he cannot. Iman with a back forward with a nature as well. Super Luke with I'm offended. Catching him. Great immortality buy. But Highs will be gunned down. Iman buys the immortality. And there's a big evolved Lord that has been taken by Super Ken.
A game of inches and Alter Ego. They might be stripped down into pieces Bigetron Alpha wanting to terminate Alter Ego right here, right now. Will they be able to hold? Will they be able to force a game number 4? It looks so bleak for them.
Roundel doing all that he can. Super Ken just going at the base
Cristo.
of Miru as well. The base wide open. They'll go for it. Alter Ego have been eliminated by Bigetron Alpha on day 1. A clean sweep to start the playoffs in Season 14.